So what do we do? And this is that announcement I was telling you about. I said, stay to the end because I have an announcement. How do we fight back? How do we make our voices heard? I'm going to show you. Now, CJ mentioned this earlier. Shout out to CJ for mentioning this. Because there is something coming up that everybody needs to know about. I'm going to pay close attention as it gets closer to this date to see how many people actually talk about this event. I told you before, we need to put people in the streets. That is going to be happening. Let me make this a little bit larger so you can see. The Poor People's Campaign. If you are not familiar with this organization, you need to familiarize yourself with them. They do a lot. They had someone from this organization actually came on RBN a while back. I'll have to check with Nick. I forgot about that, but they do a lot for the people. And they have something coming up that is heavily important. Mass Poor People's Assembly and Moral March on Washington, June 18th, 2022. Now I'm giving you a way advance notice. It is January. This is happening in June. Make sure you pass this on to as many people as possible. Eric, if you could put the link in the, oh, you already did. See Eric already on it. Poor People's Campaign. Listen to this. June 18th, 2022. This is not a one-day event, ladies and gentlemen. June 18th, 2022, Mass Poor People and Low-Wage Workers Assembly and Moral March on Washington and to the polls will be a generationally transformative and disruptive gathering of the poor, low-wealth people, state leaders, faith communities, moral allies, unions, and partnering organizations. I'm going to play that video in a second. It's not just a day of action. It is a declaration of an ongoing committed moral movement to 1, build power. We have none. We need to get some. 2, shift the political narrative. 3, make real policies to fully address poverty and low wealth from the bottom up. The assembly is a pulling point of organizing from fall 2021 through summer of 2022. This is how you do it. This is not a one-day event. They are starting this summer. They are going to next summer. Oh, wait, I think I said that wrong. I got excited. Sorry. Oh, organizing from fall of 2021 to summer 2022. And will spring us. No, I did say it right. Yeah. Starting summer 2022 and will spring us towards the 2022 election. This is going to be happening for a while. This is how we won in the civil rights movement. It wasn't a one-day event. It wasn't a one-day boycott. This went on for months. This went on for years. They are not messing around. Summer 22 into the 2022 election. So this is a couple of months. Along the way, we will be doing more. Mobilizing, organizing, registering, educating, engaging, and empowering people for a movement that votes. Find a bus. You don't have a car? They gonna come get you. Find a bus coming to Washington, D.C. from your state on June 18th with rally.co. I'm giving everybody advance notice, guys. Look at all the buses. We're going to get you there. We're going to get you there. The Poor People's Campaign. This needs to happen. I told you, we got to get people in the streets. CJ said earlier, they've already got over 100 organizations to sign up for this. This is going to be a mass movement. We need something like Dr. King's speech on Washington. We need those numbers. This is what we mean. I'm going to play this video.
We welcome you to the launch of the Mass Poor People's Low Wage Assembly and Moral March on Washington, D.C., June 18, 2022.
We are a new unsettling force, and we are powerful. New unsettling force, and we are here.
We're rising up to demonstrate the compelling power that we, poor and low-income people, have to reconstruct society from the bottom up.
And we need to do it with the loudest voices possible, the biggest actions possible.
Because we know that there is no scarcity in this land. The only scarcity is the moral will to do what's right.
Oh, Lord, just a little while longer.
We are those with sub-minimum wage jobs who can't afford sky-high rent.
People with disabilities are the fastest growing minority group.
It's crazy to me that in 2021, it's still legal for workplaces to pay a sub-minimum wage to people with disabilities.
There are still so much trial and tribulations that we go through as Indigenous people. We can't get a decent wage to sustain ourselves, nor can we get adequate housing.
Veterans across this nation say enough is enough. We can't pat essential workers on the back on one day and then cut their health care the next day.
Health is a political choice.
What more do I need to do to prove that my voice is just as valuable as anyone else's?
There are still forces in denial that would try to slow walk our transition to a clean economy and a just future for us all.
We have an immoral system run by immoral people.
But together we walk and we fight.
It's time for a change.
Reconstruyamos esta gran nación.
See, we are people of resilience as we fight these interlocking injustices together.
When we work together, mobilize together, and rise together, we become a voice for the voiceless, and we become an agent of change in a time where great change is needed.
We need the third reconstruction to ensure that deaf people, people with disabilities, and all people can have the right to live and to thrive.
We know what they are doing, but the question is, what are we going to do? Reconstruction begins when we change our mentality and say it's time for you to get your foot off of my neck.
Got to do it, guys. Got to do it. We can't sit around and wait anymore. We can't sit back and just talk our way through it. We can't sit here and cross our fingers. We can't wait to another election. If you are part of the 99%, try your best to be there if you can. If you can't physically, march and protest, I understand that as well. But what you can do is share this information and pass this on to as many people as possible. The more numbers, the better. I'm not going to sit around and wait and see what happens. Some people are comfortable. They can do that. Most of us can't. It's time to fight back. Got to put your feet in the streets. I hope I'll see all of you there.